Have you ever heard of the Carnispecter? A chilling tale woven from the threads of unrequited love and eternal vengeance. The Carnispecter is a spectral entity that feeds on the flesh of those who spurn their affection. Its hunting grounds are the desolate Lover's Lane on the outskirts of Redwood Falls, a place where love once blossomed, but now only harbors sorrow and dread. The Carnispecter, you see, was once a woman named Florence. Born in the early 1900s, she was a woman who loved deeply and fiercely. But, as is often the case in tales such as these, her love was tragically unrequited. Jilted by her lover in the roaring 20s, Florence was consumed by despair and took her own life. But death was not the end for Florence. No, it was merely the beginning of a new, terrifying existence. She became the Carnispecter, a vengeful ghost hunting those who reject the affections of others. Her first victim, none other than Stanley Goldwater, the man who broke her heart. Stanley was set to marry his new fiancée a mere 3 years after Florence's death. But a day before the wedding, Stanley met a horrific end. His mutilated body was found, appearing as though it had been savaged by a pack of wild animals. The town was shocked, but those who knew about Florence's tragic end couldn't help but wonder if her spirit had a hand in Stanley's gruesome death. The Carnispecter is said to take the form of a woman from the victim's life, usually someone the victim has wronged or rejected. If the advances of this spectral woman are accepted, the victim falls ill, an ailment curable only by the real woman's presence. But if the victim rejects the ghostly woman, she transforms into a hideous hag, with razor-sharp claws and serrated teeth, and feeds on their flesh, exacting her twisted form of eternal vengeance. Stanley's dreadful end was just the beginning of the Carnispecter's reign of terror. Enter Gregory Williams, a notorious heartbreaker, whose fate was sealed by his callous actions. A charming rogue and a celebrated athlete, Gregory was known for his devil-may-care attitude. He was a man who reveled in the thrill of conquest, leaving a string of heartbroken women in his wake. His lifestyle was a whirlwind of extravagant parties and fleeting romances. He was a playboy, a man who loved them and left them, without a second thought for the damage he left behind. With his boyish charm and carefree spirit, he had no trouble finding women who fell for his allure. One fateful night, on the desolate Lover's Lane on the outskirts of Redwood Falls, Gregory encountered a woman who would change his life forever. She was beautiful, captivating, and all too familiar. It was Heather, or at least a mirror image of a woman he had once cruelly spurned. She pleaded with him to return to her, professing her love. He smiled, and as callous as it did before, he rejected her advances, sealing his cruel fate. She then transformed into a grotesque hag, her teeth becoming serrated, her hands morphing into razor-sharp claws. His eyes widened with horror as the twisted creature leapt on top of him, tearing the flesh from his bones. In a horrifying twist of fate, Gregory the Heartbreaker met his end at the hands of the woman he had once rejected. His lifeless body was found the next morning, his flesh torn apart, a grim testament to the wrath of a jilted lover. Gregory's end was a grisly reminder of the consequences of playing with hearts. His demise serves as a stark warning to all who dare to toy with affection. The Carnispecter continues her eternal hunt, her vengeance unending, her wrath a chilling reminder of the price of a broken heart. Arnold Prince, a man living a deceitful life, was the next to cross paths with the Carnispecter. Arnold was a man of charm, a pilot by trade, and a bigamist by choice. His life was a carefully woven web of lies, with 2 unsuspecting wives, each living in a different city, and a mistress he had recently abandoned upon learning of her pregnancy. The stage was set for a deadly encounter with the Carnispecter. One cold winter night, as Arnold was preparing to fly out to visit his second wife, he noticed a woman waiting in the shadows. It was his mistress, or so it seemed. Her face, once full of life and love, was now a mask of cold bitterness. She pleaded for his return, her voice a haunting echo of their past. Arnold, ever the heartless deceiver, spurned her advances. But something changed. The woman's face contorted into a grotesque caricature of her former self. Her teeth became serrated, her fingers transformed into razor-sharp claws. The Carnispecter had revealed herself. Arnold tried to flee, but it was too late. The Carnispecter lunged, her claws slashing, her teeth sinking into his flesh. The next day, Arnold's mangled body was found sprawled across the tarmac. The authorities were baffled. It seemed as though he had been mauled by a wild animal. The truth, however, was far more terrifying. The horror of Arnold's fate didn't end there. His deceit was laid bare for all to see. His 2 wives met at his funeral, their faces a mirror of shock and betrayal. His mistress with child was left to face the world alone. Arnold's end was a horrifying testament to the Carnispecter's insatiable hunger for vengeance. His story serves as a chilling reminder of the Carnispecter's wrath, a deadly consequence of spurning love and affection. In the quiet streets of Redwood Falls, the Carnispecter lurks, waiting for her next victim. The legend of the Carnispecter continues, a shadowy figure in a deceitful love triangle, a chilling symbol of love's dark revenge. The Carnispecter's victims are a horrifying testament to her eternal vengeance. Let's take a moment to remember the unfortunate souls who crossed paths with this malevolent phantom. Gregory Williams, the notorious playboy, loved and left countless women, breaking hearts without a second thought. His story ended in unspeakable terror as he became prey to the Carnispecter, his life snuffed out in a grotesque manner. Then there was Arnold Prince, the deceitful bigamist. His tangled web of love and lies spun out of control, culminating in a horrifying encounter with the Carnispecter. His fate was sealed when he discarded his pregnant mistress, drawing the vengeful spirit's attention. The gruesome end that met him was a clear testament to the cost of his deceitful ways. These are but 2 of the numerous victims claimed by the Carnispecter. The desolate Lover's Lane, where the specter is said to roam, is rife with tales of other unfortunate souls who faced their doom at the hands of this twisted entity. Some accounts tell of eerie sounds echoing through the night, of terrified screams and the grotesque crunching of bones. Others speak of ghostly apparitions taking the form of jilted lovers, their faces twisted in eternal torment. The Carnispecter is not a tale spun to frighten children. She is a chilling reality, a spectral embodiment of vengeance that preys on those who dare to toy with the affections of others. Her existence is a grim reminder of the consequences of unrequited love, a dark testament to the pain and anguish borne by those whose love is spurned. The Carnispecter continues to haunt the outskirts of Redwood Falls. Her victims are a chilling reminder of her wrath, their horrifying fate serving as a stark warning to all. She is a specter of vengeance, born from heartbreak and betrayal, forever seeking retribution for the love that was denied to her. The Carnispecter continues to haunt those who dare to break hearts, a chilling reminder of the cost of unrequited love. Beware of the Carnispecter, a horror born of a broken heart. The chilling tale of this vengeful specter is more than just an urban legend. It serves as a stark reminder of the dire consequences that await those who play with the feelings of others. The Carnispecter, born from the pain of unrequited love, is a warning to all who dare to trample on the hearts of others. Just like Gregory and Arnold, you too may find yourself ensnared in the clutches of this malevolent being. Gregory, a popular jock, thought he could get away with his love 'em and leave 'em lifestyle. He broke countless hearts, and in the end, met a gruesome fate at the hands of the Carnispecter. Arnold, a deceitful bigamist, thought he could juggle 2 wives and a mistress, but his cruel and twisted end serves as a warning to all who dare to deceive. Remember, the Carnispecter is not just a ghost. She is a manifestation of the pain and anguish caused by a broken heart. She is the embodiment of the wrath of those scorned. Her tale is not one to be taken lightly. It is a cautionary tale, a grim reminder to treat the feelings of others with the respect they deserve. So the next time you find yourself on Lover's Lane, spare a thought for the Carnispecter. Remember her tale. Remember the fate of those who have crossed her path. And most importantly, treat others' feelings with the respect they deserve. Remember, the Carnispecter is always watching, always waiting for its next victim. Have you had any eerie encounters of your own? We'd love to hear your chilling tales in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe and give us a thumbs up for more spine-tingling stories. Stay safe, and remember, the Carnispecter could be lurking closer than you think.